I'm David J. Writing promos and commercials is all about good storytelling, and I learned how to tell a story from my Aunt Lily. Lily Pons was born in France. She studied music at the Paris Conservatory, where she became a successful operatic star. She made her debut in the New York Met in 1931, and Lily Pons made her first film for radio pictures called I Dream Too Much with actor Henry Fonda. It was a smash, and the critics loved her. New York critic Luella Parsons became best friends with my Aunt Lily. And this is the story my Aunt Lily would not speak of till Luella died in 1972. It was the roaring 20s, and the golden age of Hollywood was flourishing. Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, and Mary Pickford were the biggest movie stars and reigned in fame and fortune and controversy. Charlie Chaplin was known for his womanizing. There wasn't a girl he couldn't bed, and budding film actress Marion Davies was one of them. At the time, Marion was involved in a romantic relationship with newspaper tycoon William Randolph Hearst. Hearst adored Marion and even financed all her pictures, and was extremely jealous. He wanted to make sure Marion was not having an affair with Charlie, and he thought the best way was to catch them in the act. So one weekend, Hearst invited some of Hollywood's elite aboard his lavish 280-foot yacht.
Charlie, how are you?
The guest list included Chaplin, actresses Aileen Pringle, Jacqueline Logan, Sienna Owen, Margaret Livingston, choreographer Theodore Kosloff, film director Thomas Ince, and Lily Pons' best friend, Luella Parsons, who was hired by Hearst to write a story about Marion.
Charleston, everybody!
The group enthusiastically danced into the night during the costume party.
Let's show Pounds down.
You bet!
Charlie Chaplin wore his popular bowler hat. Drinks were flowing, and the party was going. Then, Charlie and Marion cautiously slipped away, not knowing Hearst was spying on them. They disappeared hand in hand, topside to the deck. And when they were out of Hearst's sight, Marion turned to Charlie and said,
Charlie, my mother always said romantic love fades. Marry for sympathy and friendship.
But you're not married.
I still love Willie.
Charlie said, if you ever change your mind, I'm here for you, kiddo, and kissed Marion, just as old Willie peered around the corner to witness. In a fit of jealous rage, Hearst ran back to his cabin to retrieve a pistol. While away, Charlie said goodnight to Marion and placed his bowler hat on her head. He left the deck, and Thomas Ince came up for a smoke and sat next to Marion. What a wonderful costume party, Ince said. I sure wish I could be Charlie. And he took the hat off of Marion and placed it on his head. William Randolph Hearst rounded the starboard board. Coming up behind him, he pointed his pistol. Director Thomas Ince fell dead, and everyone on the yacht heard the shot. The next morning, William gathered everyone together.
Tom Ince took ill last night and decided to leave early.
What was wrong with him?
He said his ulcers were acting up.
However, Luella Parsons witnessed the shooting
Mr. Hearst,
and asked to speak to Hearst alone.
I started thinking, and the only way I can have a real effect on the readers and the community that I'm covering, if I have time, lots of time.
Oh, I agree with you, 100%. I'll have the office draw up an 8-year contract.
8 years. WR now, really. 8 years won't do either of us any good. We're at the point in our careers where we need security.
Security? Security from whom?
The wrong people. I'm willing to devote my life to Hearst newspapers. But I need to know, here and now, that you're willing to grant me the life I want. You give me my security, and I'll give you yours, WR, for a lifetime.
A lifetime contract.
Everyone on board kept that secret, including Luella Parsons. But she did have a best friend, my Aunt Lily Pons, and it's one of the greatest stories I've ever heard.